Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Matt Rempe. Matt Rempe right now is taking the NHL by storm right now. There is no doubt about it, right? Like it's the Rempire State Building, it's the Broadway Bully, like
Ugh.
whatever you want to, whatever you want to call him, he is like the Madison Square Giant, the MSG. I get it. He's 6'8" and he's an interesting player. He's a kid. He's literally a kid. We're getting ready for playoffs, and I really thought, this league had moved past the goon. I really did. I thought we were past the guy that just fought to fight. I thought we had moved past that. And I'll give you an example. In 2010, 2011, you know how many fighting majors there were? 645 in 2010. You know how many were projected for this year if it continues on the same pace? 280. So less than half the fights than a decade ago. It's just not part of the game. You know why? Because the game's too fast. The game's too fast, and those spots on the bottom of the roster,
Mhm.
those guys can play. They can provide offense, and you need secondary offense because the top guys make so much money. You better have somebody else that can help provide points to this roster. And those guys that do nothing, meaning they don't provide secondary scoring, they don't provide offense, you cannot have them on your roster anymore. And I don't think there are many left in the league. All of them that are still in the league could not be happier that Matt Rempe is here. They are jumping up and down for joy. They're calling every reporter they know to say, hey, I'm relevant again. I matter. I'm relevant. See, fighting isn't dead. Just because some people in New York love to watch a 6'8", 21-year-old fight and get two black eyes. You know what his ice time is? Matt Rempe. He's been in 8 games. He's had 4 fights, and his average ice time is 5 minutes and 4 seconds. He's got one goal that hit him in the shin pad from a shot from the point that he didn't even know hit him. And that's true because in the postgame interview, he said, I don't know it hit me. You have to be able to play. And I want to talk about relevant fighters. Ryan Reeves and Matt Martin. Matt Martin is one of the guys that had fought him. Do you know how many fights Martin has all year? All year. He's got 3. Three fights the entire hockey season. How about Ryan Reeves? You know how many fights he's got, including the Rempe fight? 4 for the entire season. So if you're telling me that the two tough guys in this league that have challenged Matt Rempe are so important and so relevant to protect your teams, and combined they have 7 fights in over 120 games, is that matter? Well, but a deeper issue. Matt Martin, you know how many his points he's got? 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, plays 9 minutes a game. Ryan Reeves, 3 goals, 1 point, 1 assist, 4 points, and 8 minutes of ice time. Are those guys that are going to be key pieces for the playoff runs for the New York Rangers? And I know Matt Martin might not be the playoffs. Are those guys relevant? Do they matter? The answer is no. They don't. And this sudden surge of excitement over fighting, then go watch an MMA fight. Go do that. Because you want to know the fighters I like in the National Hockey League? I cannot stand anybody that knows me. I don't like the two guys that meet. Matt Rempe's not fighting because he's protecting a goddamn teammate. Game hasn't even started on his fights. He hasn't had a shift yet, and he's fighting. He's not protecting his teammate. It's some other tough guy swinging his, trying to show how tough he is, and dropping his gloves. Now, if you want to see a fighter in this league, you know how many fights Brady Chuck has? He's got more than Reeves, and he's got more than Matt Martin. You know what else Brady Kachuk has? He's got 26 goals and 50 points, and he plays 18 minutes and 40 seconds a night, and he protects his teammates. That's the guy I want fighting for me. Trent Frederick in Boston, he's got 16 goals, 13 minutes, and he's got more fights than Reeves and Martin. Marcus Foligno in Minnesota, 9 goals, 20 points, 14:35 a night, 6 fights. All of those guys have more. How about Jack McBain? I don't know he's not in that same weight class. He's got 6 goals, 17 points, plays 12 and a half minutes a game, and kills penalties. Who do you want on your roster?
Right.
I get so excited about these guys that are playing 5 minutes a game. When the playoff whistle sounds, and it's coming in a few weeks, do you think these guys are in the lineup and relevant? And right now, there are teams thinking, God, I need to have one because they've got one. Are you out of your mind? Like, let's not revert back to what we did 10 years ago. Let's get past it. I think the Matt Rempe hype is going to be over because we, honest to God, don't know if the kid can play. We've never seen him play. We have no idea if he can play. I don't know if he can even skate. So hopefully the league moves past where they're at with this current revival of the tough guy, because I don't think that that's what this league needs to do. Now, I'm not saying take away fighting. You need fighting in hockey. You have to protect your teammates. You have to, their sticks get up way too high, and there's too many small skilled players in this league that you need to protect, and it is a self-protecting league, but you fight to protect your teammates. You don't fight for the entertainment value at center ice. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and listen, if these guys end up in a playoff game, if they end up on a playoff roster, you know what you do if you're the opposition? You expose them. You
Yeah, you let them
expose them
play.
because they can't play.
They let them play. That was always the mantra when you played against guys, and there were a lot more guys like this in the league prior to this. Every team had one. And you know what you said going into a game? Leave them alone. Just leave them alone. because he's not going to score. He's not going to factor in the plus minus this game. Leave him alone. Don't engage. Don't engage with that player. I'm sorry, and I know there's so many people that really enjoy the fighting aspect of this game, and they love the little surge that's going around the league right now. I'm not one of those guys, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I just think this game is about skill and speed, and I don't mind the physicality. I don't mind a hard hitting physical game. I don't want to see fighting for the sake of fighting. I just don't get it. Fight to protect your teammates, fight to protect your goaltender, fight because they're picking on your skilled player. I don't have a problem with that. But you're a minute into a game and you're just fighting a guy because he's the biggest guy on the prison block. It doesn't make sense to me.